Hey guys, what is up? I'm Jen Burson and I'm the founder of Generation PR, a PR and social media marketing agency here in Los Angeles. And I am also the founder of the Profitable PR Pros community. In our community, Anne Reagan Kearns asked about client referral plans and structuring pricing when you have three clients, for example, under one parent company. Usually what we do is we look at what something would be for one client on a monthly retainer, and then we offer bundled pricing. So there's somewhat of a discount. And we have to do this strategically because things change and you don't want to get kind of screwed in that deal if the client ends up backing out of the arrangement or, pulling a brand or two. So what we do is, let's say, for example, for math purposes, your regular monthly retainer is $5,000 a month, and you're going to be working with three brands that all fall under one parent company. So if they happen to be three entirely separate brands, you would charge three retainers of $5,000 each, which would be $15,000. But since they all fall under one umbrella, you can give them a discounted rate, like a bundled rate. That would be, let's say, $12,000, right? So they're getting, what is that, a 20% discount, right? That's the math on that. Yeah, $1,000 out of, so 20% discount on your rate for the bundle. And the reason that they're getting a discount, and you want to talk about this with them, is because of economies of scale. Typically, a parent company will have multiple brands under their umbrella and they're all in the same niche. So you get economies of scale. You get the ability to pitch out the brand to all the brands to the same editors. You can kind of position them together. Maybe you're only building one media list and they all align there. And some of the pitch angles and knowing what to pitch and when, like mastering the art of timing and relevance, because they're all the same type of client, you get that scale, right? And it also builds the relationship with the client. There's that piece of it too that shows you're collaborating, you're a partner to them. You want all the business, so you're going to show the value of coming to you and your agency because you're able to do all of the work and bundle it together and give them a discount for all of the work, because there are economies of scale and you need to mention that. And that's important because you have to be explicit when you're pricing this out, where the discount is and what it's for, so that they don't get confused when they pull a brand. And this happens all the time. So is the partial discount extended across all three? Is the first one full price and then the second one has a discount and the third one has an even bigger discount? Because what happens is sometimes their priorities and their budgets will change for different brands, and they'll pull one or two of the brands. And if that happens, then you're stuck offering this discount without the bundled pricing. So you have to be clear about that. So for example, you've got your $5,000, your $5,000 a month retainer. And then when the second brand gets added, it's a $1,000 discount. And when the third brand gets added, it's a $2,000 discount. So that way, if they pull one brand, it reverts back to only the $1,000 discount, right? So, that way you're not kind of getting, screwed in the discount, because they're getting this great rate because of three brands, but they pull one or two and they're like, well, that's the rate. And you're going, well, no, it's not. That was a bundled discount because you were giving so much work to us and we had this, great economies of scale pitching all three brands. But you can also, you can make it so that they have to keep all of the brands, or it reverts back to non-bundled pricing. I don't like to do that. I like to do it more in the tiered way, like I just described, where the first brand's $5,000, the second brand gets a $1,000 discount, and the third brand gets a $2,000 discount. And that way it equals 20% discount across all brands. And it still makes sense for you. If they pull the third brand, you're not extending that huge bundle discount across the remaining two brands. And you have to be really clear about this in your proposal. Be really, really clear about this in your proposal, because things happen, things change, even in the proposal process. So they'll pitch out 3 brands, and well, they'll ask for support on 3 brands, and then they'll maybe come back even before you're retained and say, you know what, we're deciding to really only move forward with 2 brands. And they might think that that's your pricing for 2 versus 3, or even 1. It happens all the time. So you also, like I said, you only want to consider doing this bundled rate if there's actually an overlap between the brands and there are economies of scale. And that's, we talk about this concept of economies of scale in niching down, because that allows you to get into a flow state with all of your clients, to be able to become an expert, a deep subject matter expert in your niches, create deep relationships with editors, know the industry inside and out. And the goal is to have those economies of scale when you're working with other brands, not just all under the same umbrella. But if it is the same parent company, you can extend that value to them. But that's also one of the reasons why I always recommend niching down and all of that good stuff. So really only consider doing it if the brands do overlap and there can be those economies of scale, leveraging the relationships and your expertise to support all of the brands. So the amount of discount you give, it really also depends, and always with any client that you want to work with, it depends how badly you want to work with these brands. Is it something that is going to really help you quickly establish your expertise and authority in this niche, because now you have 3 brands that are all related in the niche you want to be an expert in, or that you are an expert in, and you really want that business, then you might consider giving a bigger discount because of the value that it brings to you. Think of all the case studies. Nobody knows it's the same parent company and the same managing team. You can get 3 different case studies, 3 different testimonials to support in your, you use it in your proposals and on your website. So you might say, well, I really, really want this, so I'm going to extend a bigger discount than I normally would, because this is going to be very beneficial to the growth of my agency. So that's another factor to consider. So just to be clear, in your proposals, you have to really specify why they're getting the discount and how the discount is considered, so that if they pull back a brand or 2, they are not getting that discounted bundled pricing, and it's very clear to them. Otherwise, it's a hard conversation to have and say, oh no, I was offering you a discount because of the volume of brands you were bringing to the table, but now that you're pulling one back, you don't get a discount anymore. And that doesn't feel very good. So you have to be explicit in the proposal, because maybe even 6 months down the road, it will change and they'll say, you know what, we're not using budget for that brand anymore. We're really only going to continue with those other 2. And you have to come back to them and say, hey, sorry, can't give you a discount anymore. And they'll be like, what? Because they've considered what the budget is already. And then of course, you also want to put that in the proposal so it's very, very clear to them, and explain how the discount is set forth in there, and also really consider how it all overlaps. How are these brands overlapping to give you economies of scale? I want to help you start working with high-end clients so you can build a 7-figure PR agency that you love, that you hopefully are passionate about, even after 16 years like I am. I've been running my agency for 16 years. And I love what I do. I love teaching other people how to intentionally build, strategically grow their business with their dream clients. So that's what I help you do. And if I can help you to do that, I have great resources for you.